Just realised my volume was right down on low. So, welcome. So we have been lucky enough this, even worse, lucky enough to have had two nephews staying this year from the UK, which is awesome. Both from the same family. Jacob went back a few weeks ago and Toby leaves tomorrow. So they've been doing some interesting stuff. One was working in near Jindabyne as a chippy, and then Toby, who's still with us, is he walked the whole length of New Zealand, absolutely incredible. And then he's spent a week on French Island, working there, and loved it. So it's one of the highlights of his trip. So good on you, French Island. And but what I have found, I have a name for him. It is Mr. Hollow Legs. There's no fat on him, not an ounce. He's just walked the whole length of New Zealand, but he eats like a horse. I don't know, such a strong, fast metabolism. It's absolutely incredible. So I am making a low carb lasagna tonight, which is probably supposed to be not the best thing, but it's full of cheese and veggies and things. But I'm trying to fill up Mr. Hollow Legs. So this lasagna is for him. We've got a family chat. I think I'm going to change his name to Mr. Hollow Legs. All right, so low carb lasagna. Now, what I have noted though is that later on, when it comes to actually making up the lasagna, we've got to have some grated mozzarella. So I'm going to grate the mozzarella first. So what I might do is just go start cooking, then I'm going to save the recipe. I'll put my mozzarella in there. And I'm just going to go speed 7 and we'll just see how we go. Do you know what? I just Googled this and it said 15 seconds on speed 7. I have done 4 and I don't want to do any more than that because I honestly think if I do that, it's going to get really clumpy. So here we go. There's our mozzarella. 7 seconds, speed 4 for mozzarella, guys. All right. Just get that out of the way. Put that over there. Get into our recipe. Okay, I've been a bit lazy. And I have done all the zucchini. It's sitting here on this board and I have salted it. And what I am going to do is add the bits because it doesn't want you to use the middle bits that are seedy. So I'm going to add those into the actual dish itself. Done that, it says salt done maybe for 10 minutes. Okay, 60 grams of Parmesan cheese. A little bit more, but $15 seconds on speed 10. Go to a bowl and set aside. I'm seeing me doing this a lot. I think this is going to go on top. So that cheese in there. Oh, it's a little bit big. Just going to grate down, get a bit more out. Not that it really matters because we're going to be, the next step is also grating cheese. $60 grams of cheddar cheese, and I know I've got more than that in here. Put the lid on. 10 seconds on speed 10. Okay, I was just using the preview button there to so that's actually, you see, that's what I didn't want to happen to that mozzarella. So it's sort of creamed up a little bit. Then I'm going to add 250 grams of cream cheese. 100 grams of plain yogurt. Apologies, I forgot to have that here. Okay, some firmy yogurt in here. I was talking to someone today and I said yogurt. She was having fruit juice on her cereal. So I just said, don't you have yogurt? And she said, I never have yogurt. I have yogurt. Can't help it. Brought up with yogurt. 50 grams of almond milk. Why they say almond, I don't actually have any almonds, so I'm just going to do 50 grams of Mr. Holloway's milk, which is just normal milk. Oops, a bit more than that. Garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon. Pop my lid on. Okay, 5 seconds, speed 3, just mixing everything up. Transfer into a bowl. Oh, no, that needs a bit more. Can you see that's quite lumpy? I'm going to give that a bit more. I'm going 16 seconds. I'm actually going to go past the 3. Check it out. Looking much better. I'll show you what this looks like, but it looks a lot smoother than it did before. Okay. So I'm going to put that into this bowl, remembering always when you scrape to push down to the bottom and go in a clockwise direction so that you hit the rounded side of the blades. And don't smash up your spatula. Okay, another little tip, which I'm sure most of you who've been around with me for a long time know. You can probably tell what I'm going to do next to clean the blades. Get a bit more of that. So I'm going to save my recipe. I'm going to come into turbo. Back into my saved recipe, which will allow the arms to release. Clean blades and easier to scrape out the rest. So again, I'm just going to push everything down to the bottom. Go in a clockwise direction. Look how much more there is in there. Well, it's going to ask me to clean and dry the mixing bowl. I don't really want to do that, but what we'll do is get out a second bowl. Much easier. Gotta love a second bowl. Okay. Yum. Okay. That can join the mess that you can't see. And the mixing bowl. Now, when I'm doing this, I don't always get a clean lid because that's really not going to garlic clove. So I've got a small one, second one. It's usually 3 seconds, speed 7. We'll see what it says on here. 3 seconds, speed 7. My spatula a little while. Yeah. So there we go. Garlic clove. 100 grams of onions quartered, and I think there's a little bit more than that. Mushrooms, and I know there's more mushrooms because they're not button mushrooms, it's what I had in the fridge. pretty full, I think. And remember I said about the zucchini? I'm going to chuck that in too. Might end up with a very full bowl, but hopefully it's all going to chop down nicely. 3 seconds, speed 5. So some of it's chopped, a little bit isn't, so have put a lot more volume in there than they said. So I'm just going to repeat. So I went back, repeat that step. Better? Okay. Now it says 40 grams of olive oil, so we'll pop that in. And, you know, really good way to use up some veggies that are in your fridge. Probably other things I could chuck in there, but I think this is going to be pretty full as it is. So, okay. Simmering basket on top, just going to, on my glider board, I'm just bringing that forward so we're not underneath the cupboard. So that's going to cook for 2 minutes, 120 degrees. That's what we've got the simmering basket on. Remember, 95 degrees and above, the NC comes off and the simmering basket goes on. Now, I haven't got this up, but I thought we could actually have a quick look at cookie dough. Where are you? Okay, log in. Okay, back to Zoom, back to you guys. Share my screen. Here we go. So I'm just going to put in lasagna. Here we go. There's 48 results for lasagna. Now, just I was having a conversation with someone before. See this little drop-down menu here? There are different things. So you can use that, specific names, the newest recipes that come up, for relevance, which is obviously perfect for this. The total time, shortest, prep time, best rated. Okay, so relevance is great for this. And if we just have a look at the different lasagnas. So there's lasagna, low-waste chicken lasagna there, pollock and spinach, that's a fish. Pollock is an English fish. Sun-dried tomato pesto lasagna, wow, that looks awesome. Christmas Eve lasagna, gluten-free mushroom lasagna, low-carb gluten-free lamb lasagna, and so on. So there's, look at that one. That's a deconstructed lasagna there. Very gourmet. So there's quite a few. Oh, that zucchini lasagna is really nice too. That's another low carby. And that's the one that we're doing. Okay, so let's go back to what we're doing. All right, now true to form, I have more mince than this. Because remember, I'm feeding Mr. Hollow Legs. So I've got that. I've got a lot extra. I've got to try and fit it all in. What's next? All right, so I'm just going to give it a bit of a stir so we get the onion and the vegetables and everything mixed up with the mince, which I'm trying to check everything out now. It is quite full, but I am not over the maximum line of the bowl, just so you know. I think that fell down. There we go. Simmering basket back on. 5 minutes. And I'm just going to preview, see what comes next. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So whilst that's happening, I will just go for a little bit more cookie dough with you. Okay. So let's just actually change these filters a little bit. My mouse is not working. I go, I just want to see what happens. Newest. Okay, so now you can see I've got different. So if you've made a whole heap of lasagna before and you wanted something different, lasagna style courgette bake. So that's a English one. Sun-dried tomato pesto lasagna looks unbelievable. I'm just going to have a look at that one. It looks so good. And with all these things, so we're doing the low carb version, which is high in fat, which is like got all the cheese and everything happening. But with one of these, you can replace that lasagna with, you know, one, you could do it gluten-free pasta if you wanted to, lasagna. You can do it with the zucchini. You might need to just do a little bit of cooking of eggplant, but you could do eggplant and turn it into a little bit of moussaka. There's all sorts of options that you can have. So let's just have a quick look at this. Oh, there you go. That's eggplant. And so again, English recipe, aubergine, courgette, so eggplant, zucchini, red pepper, black pepper, onions, starter. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. Might have to put that one on the list. All right, so that was quite a new one. Okay, cauliflower and sweet potato lasagna. So there's so many different things. So if you are veggie, doesn't mean you can go without, you have to go without lasagna. Let's look at this one. Cauliflower, sweet potato, onion, milk, lasagna sheets. And again, you could do, oh, I've got spinach. I love it. Yeah, so heaps of different options there. Back. I was also chatting with the same customer and they were saying they had cream to use up. So let's put cream in here and we'll just see what happens. Oh, there we go, cream. So she was actually saying she got whipped cream and lots of dessert things, but I'm actually coming up with a whole lot of different things. So with cream in them. So yeah, there are a lot of dessert things. Oh my goodness, if you haven't made them, bust cheesecake, yum. There's obviously cream in some of these. And you could also come into here, into your filters, and you can go, right, I want a soup with cream in it. Going to prove me wrong here. But no, look, here we go. These potato curry soup, seafood chowder, cream and mushroom, pumpkin soup definitely has cream in it. Chicken stroganoff soup, how about that? So, oh, West African peanut soup with chicken. That sounds delicious too. So, yeah, so if you know, that's how you can filter things. So we've got it in soups there. What about if we change the filter and we go main dishes meat? So, you know, we've obviously cream in some of these sauces. Tikka masala, oh, the pasta, yeah. So you can just change your filters in here. Main dishes meat. Let's actually go down and let's pick, they've got sauces in here too. So it could be that you want a, where's my sauces, dips, spread, savoury. So let's have a look. Horseradish saffron, jalapenos, different dips. Okay, so just different ways to use Cookie Do and search. So that was using up an ingredient that she had in the fridge and wanted to use up. Okay, what have I got in there? All right, so we are about to get on to the next stage here anyway. So let's come back, and I think I'm going to have to use my dirty bowl. I don't know if you can hear, but the sound has changed, so I know it's stopped cooking. It's just doing cooling down now. And what it's asked me to do is transfer the cooked mince to the simmering basket. So I'm going to actually put it over my second bowl here. I'm not sure it's all going to fit. And it's not all cooked, but it doesn't really matter because it's going to go into the it's going to go into the lasagna. So I've got some cooked and some not so cooked in here, but it's just to drain out I might do it the other way around. Let's do this. Okay, I have an old simmering basket. I'm going to put that over there. Okay, get rid of this one. Probably need it again anyway. And I'm just going to tip this way. So I'm not actually tipping all the not putting the mince into the simmering basket, but what I don't know if you can see that, but there is stuff coming out there. So that has just made things a little easier. So there we go. You can see it's been flattened in there. All right. Return. So that was just to get rid of the fat, and there's a whole lot of juicy stuff in there. So pop that out of the way. 300 grams of passata. Let's have a look at this. A bit of a stir again. Whoops, a bit more. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to make that up to 400 because remember, I've got a lot more ingredients in here than it said. Okay, 2 teaspoons of dried oregano. 2 salt, excuse me. 1 and a bit. Black pepper. And put my lid back. I'm going to put this simmering basket, oh no, that one on there, oh no. Simmering basket back on. And then that's going to cook for 10 minutes, okay? And whilst that's cooking, I'm going to preheat the oven. And I'm going to get my baking dish organised with the zucchini. So I have to just drain the zucchini and get the salt off it, okay, and then pat it dry. What I'm actually using for the lasagna is the base of one of the vacuum seal containers. This is the vacuum seal container you can get as a host reward. Excuse me. I needed a big dish, and I used the big dish for Mr. Hollow Legs last night. So that's actually in use. There was some apple crumble in it. Believe it or not, there's some left. And so I thought I'd use this to do my lasagna. So I've just got to wait a few minutes and then we'll come back. So here we are. That mince has been cooking. And now it says preheat the oven. I've done that already. Cover the base of the baking dish with a layer of bolognese. Place half the courgette slices over the bolognese and cover with a layer of the cheese sauce and sprinkle parmesan. And then repeat layers, finishing with 100 grams of grated mozzarella and the remaining parmesan. So we are going to take this off. Right. Oh my gosh, this looks amazing. Just going to move the thermos back on its slider board. Okay. Cover with a layer of bolognese. I've got quite a big dish here. There we go. Okay. So basically, I'm just trying to think, it's half the zucchini slices. So I'm going to put half of that on there too. And we've got extra because I did all those veggies and extra mushrooms and everything in. Now here are my zucchini slices. So I'm just going to put a whole lot of these over.
And to do the zucchini slices, I literally just had a peeler. Not going to worry too much because we're going to just cut through them when they're all cooked anyway. All right, so I've got that. Then a layer of cheese sauce. The tricky bit, I reckon, to spread this out. But anyway, let's put some of that on there. And I might get a knife. Spread that out. A bit tricky, but there we go. Basically, I've got a layer over most of that. All right. Sprinkle with Parmesan. Oh, that's the mozzarella. There's my Parmesan, so let's just sprinkle a little bit of that over. Okay, so it's all the fats in here, but I'm going to tip a little bit of that juice in. Juicy, but I've just got rid of a little bit. I have a very curious dog creeping into the kitchen to have a look. This smells pretty good. I can smell meat. Okay. All right, that's the rest of our meat. Let's get the last bits out. Then we're going to do the rest of the zucchini. Now, if you wanted to, of course, you could do this all beautifully in straight lines. As one customer said to me when we were doing these every week in lockdown on a Tuesday morning, she said, so messy. She said, no, you're just enthusiastic. So there we go. It's a bit of enthusiasm on top of that lasagna. Now I'm going to make these a bit smaller, these dollops. Be a bit easier to spread, I think. Let's do this. I'll have to get a little spatula in a minute and just get the rest of that out, but we'll do a bit of spreading around here. You can see there's still, I don't know if you can see, but there is still a fair bit of juice in there. So maybe you need to just try and drain off a bit more before putting all the meat in. All right, get a spatula. Where I got this from, but I love this one. It is my favorite silicone spatula. All right, here we go. Yum. And then finishing with our mozzarella and Parmesan. So mozzarella's going on top here. On the very top, there'll be the Parmesan. So it is a seriously cheesy lasagna. And hopefully it will satisfy Mr. Hollowlegs and he'll feel full. I will be, so last night I actually served him up. I think I'm totally nuts. But last night I served him up zoodles with a mushroom ragu, actually really good if you after a vegetarian dinner. Mushroom ragu with zoodles, absolutely delicious. So he's going to think we're just zoodle mad or vegetable mad instead of pasta. Anyway,
I'll let you know what it's like.